Good evening, everybody. I hope you're well. We hope you're well, actually. Okay, I'm just testing out the setup a little bit. There's new mic, so I want to see what it sounds like. So we'll just go out, ride around Badlapur a little bit, and while at it, we'll have a little bit of a conversation. Okay, so how's everyone doing? I hope your week was good. We've had this bike now for about over a year. It's 13 months right now, and in the 13 months we've had a lot of fun with it. Okay, maybe not a lot of fun actually. The reason not a lot, well, we didn't ride it a lot. We've not yet touched 3,000 kilometers. Can you believe that? Not yet touched 3,000 kilometers. But yeah, I mean, work and everything, we didn't really have the opportunity. Work and lockdowns. So yeah, unfortunately we've not been able to do a lot of rides. Hopefully in future we'd be able to do more, but let's see how that goes. Okay, right, so what shall we talk about? Well, let me just share my experience with the bike now, having had it for over a year. So yeah, people keep asking me about, you know, my experience, ownership review sort of a thing. So this is just an impromptu thing I'll share. So let's start off with the engine and the performance. So the engine's 250cc motor, 249cc, that puts out around 20 point something horsepower. I think 20.5 or 20.8, and 20.1 Newton meters of torque, I think. Don't quote me on that, please. Doesn't sound like big figures, and yeah, it's not significantly large numbers as such. But the thing is, the bike is light. Okay, it's pretty light. The torque, you know, while it is about 20 Newton meters, it is good. It is you know, really nice. You're trying to accelerate, you're trying to, you know, launch off or cut between traffic when you need to. So that's where the torque comes into the picture. Yeah, so it's got a torquey motor, ample torque actually. Wow. Yeah, well, hello. What is? That's what I'm talking about. You know, torque is like that. So it's really nice in the city. You know, when you're riding around vehicles like this, you can sometimes be a hooligan. I wouldn't advise. I'm not trying to encourage you to ride like a hooligan, but sometimes you've got to be, and in those moments this bike can really help. On the highways, the bike does feel like it has adequate power. I'm saying adequate because I cruise at around 80 or 90 kilometers per hour if I wanted to cruise. Right? I'm not trying to ride faster than that. The moments that I've tried riding at about 100 odd kilometers an hour, in those moments, you know, it feels like there was a lot of wind blasts. At least in our experience when we were pushing it, the fastest we've gone is about 114, and there was a lot of wind. Jessica got scared, so you know, we kind of slowed down. But yeah, the bike is powerful. There are people who have ridden it continuously for about 120. while you may be able to do that, there is going to be vibrations. There is going to be vibrations that you feel, as you go up the rev range. Right now I'm riding, I think, on the 4th gear, doing about 50 at around 4,000 or just under 4,000 RPM. Feels all cool, chill, relaxed, hardly anything. Right, so that's sort of how I ride. For me, I feel that the power is adequate. I do feel that there have been moments where I miss a 6th gear. Right, having a 6th gear would have been great. The reason I'm saying that is because when you're riding on the highway, having that 6th gear, that additional gear, would have made it feel even more smoother when you're trying to go up the rev range. और ये भाई साहब कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? ठीक है ओल्स. Okay, what else? So in terms of the power, it has adequate power. 6th gear, at least for the most part, when I ride on the highways, the speed that it is able to carry in the gears that are there, it's good enough. As in, I can easily do triple digit speeds within those gears itself. So for the most part, I'm okay. The fact that there isn't a 6th speed, it would have been even cooler if there was, but it's not a deal breaker. Okay, what I feel was missing definitely was the fact that on this Speedo there is no gear position indicator. It would have been really nice if they put it, considering the fact that it is available on almost every other bike in the market in this category, including the new Pulsars. So that's just something. So we didn't top up the bike. We put in a little bit of fuel, 500 rupees worth. That gives us about just a little above 4.5 liters of petrol. महंगाई का ज़माना है भाई. And speaking of महंगाई का ज़माना, the good thing is this bike is comparatively fuel efficient. It's comparatively fuel efficient. On the highways, you can get in excess of 40 kilometers per liter. Of course, this is dependent on your riding style. In mixed riding conditions, you're probably going to be able to get about 35 to 37 kilometers per liter. Let me see, what am I currently getting? So much. I have been riding a little bit. Right now it's showing me 33.9. That's roughly about 34, because I was riding mostly in traffic situations in the last couple of days. Yeah, so as far as fuel efficiency is concerned, for a 250cc motor, it's pretty fuel efficient. So that's a good thing, especially in a time like this. I can easily put in just so much, and I know that I'd be able to go to the city and back. Right? That just means that I can go to Bombay and come back within 500 rupees, which in comparison to a car or booking a cab, for me would have costed easily north of 1,000 rupees just for a one-way journey. Okay, so that's at least the logic that I am using. Or the wind noise. I really don't know what the noise like right now. I'm just rambling on and testing out the mic really. Okay, so what else about the riding dynamics? Well, the way you're riding, the way you're sitting on the bike, the way the handlebar is nice and wide. You're leaning a little forward with your arms spread out wide. Kind of like a very butch stance, like you're doing a push-up on the bike. I don't know how to say it. Sort of the imagery that is there in my head. You got a wide open chest, that's sort of the look, right? But yeah, the other thing is, you know, the because of the way the handlebars are, the way uh, the angle, the rake angle of the front is, right? It feels like it's very easy to, to sway around, tip into or out of turns, switch directions. It's very flickable. Plus the fat tire in the rear end, it does give you additional grip as you're taking some deep turns or cornering. So it does improve your confidence. The braking also on the bike is pretty good, although at times I feel the front end bite could have been a little better, but it's good. It's adequate. If you're riding fast, in excess of 100 kilometers an hour, then you may want to try and anticipate braking situations. Be ready to brake in advance, because sometimes the brake will feel a little spongy at that moment, and that can scare you a little bit. So it is better to try and anticipate that you will have to brake and just think when should it be. Okay. One thing I don't like about the bike, ground clearance. 160 mm, it's good and all, but in a place where your speed breakers are not of one fixed height, the height keeps varying from time to time. Then in a situation like that, you can expect to have this bike scrape on a few speed breakers, and that really does gut you. It almost feels like you're only scraping the speed breaker, not just the bike. Because from day one, we've ended up having the underbelly on this bike scrape on a few speed breakers. So that's just something. Okay. So yeah, if the ground clearance could have been improved, that would have been cool. Of course, I'd say contributing factor to that is also the rider and pillion weight, or the overall weight that is there on the bike. So I've noticed that sometimes when I'm riding alone, I'll not scrape on some speed breakers, and other times when I'm riding with pillion, I am more likely to scrape on a few speed breakers. So that's just something that I've noticed. Okay. The dual channel ABS that is there is also actually very good. I'm jumping obviously between a couple of things. I'm talking about one thing and then to the other. The dual channel ABS is definitely good, because I can jam the brake, and it won't skid, it'll slow down. So that's a very good thing. I really like that. In contrast to my previous bike, which was the Pulsar 180, that used to skid. This one is cool. It does then make you feel more confident when you're riding a little faster. You know that you're going to be able to stop. Okay. What about service cost? Well, yeah, service cost, at least what I have noticed, is that it's a little on the higher side. We just had the third service done, and I end up paying near 4,500 rupees for the third service, which is quite high, at least in comparison to what maybe a Bajaj may charge. But yeah, that is that. I think part of it was due to the fact that we changed the engine oil now instead of during the second service, considering that we've not done too many kilometers on the bike. So that may have been an added cost that came into the third service. At least that is what I am thinking. But yeah, even the very first service that happened also was a bit on the higher side, or at least that's what I was told by friends and family members. But yeah, I guess that's part of being in the Yamaha family. But then again, if I think about it, I've gone for a more premium motorcycle, so it's not exactly premium, but it's still a little more premium. It's the best or the highest offering that Yamaha India has. I really hope that the audio is not clipping right now, because I have raised my volume. There may be wind noise that is also coming in. सब कुछ टेस्ट कर रहे हैं हम, सब कुछ टेस्ट कर रहे हैं. So this is the Karjat highway. The other way would take me towards Karjat and Neral. I am headed back into Badlapur itself from here. Just taking a round. Won't be surprised if those scooters come. Hey Prabhu. Okay. Overall, I think this is a really good bike. I have absolutely no regrets of going for this over what was available. I did pay. We did end up getting this bike for 187, when right now the bike is available for I think around 164 or something. 164 I think is where it's starting on road. So yeah, it is cheaper now than it was at the time of launch, but I have zero regrets. I think right now it's offering even greater value for money. And if people were really considering this bike, I'd say this: if you're taking this bike, you're getting a bike which is a looker. You're getting Yamaha's quality and reliability, and overall a very fun package. Okay, I'm saying it's a looker because looks are always subjective, but there are so many people that have been checking out our bike when we stop at signals, or when I've parked at various places. There are so many people that are checking out the bike itself, because it is really cool. Even this matte blue color, it really does look very good. So yeah, overall I'm happy, Jessica's happy, we're happy with our purchase, we're happy with this blue baby. We're calling it Phoenix. And that's her name. Okay, so let us see what does this video look like. Of course, night riding, so I'd imagine there's a lot of grain in the video, but whatever, ऐसा होता है. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful or informative. If you liked it, please do like the video, because YouTube's algorithm works based on the number of likes that a video gets. So yeah, if you liked it, please do hit that like button. Feel free to share, and if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Those of you who have subscribed, I just want to say thank you so much for subscribing and for supporting us. We really appreciate you. Okay, so we'll end the video over here. Thank you all. Take care, stay safe, and stay blessed. Bye bye.